My name is Godwin. You're welcome to the channel. In this video, I want us to look at some of the things we tell ourselves when we get admission into colleges, universities, most especially in our first year, but we often fail to do them. If you watch to the end, the chances are you are probably telling yourself same thing and failing to do them, and you think you have the time, but the truth is you don't. These things are common, easy to ignore. If you're able to understand these things, you'll be able to overcome them. The first thing we often tell ourselves is to study harder than we did in secondary schools. If you are someone who got admission into any training colleges or universities, with grades that you are not happy about, this thing will ring bells in your ears. Then you begin to set goals. Along the line, you realize that by the time you reach final year, you have not actually worked on the goals that you set for yourselves. One of the things that can hinder you from achieving that particular goal, in my opinion, is procrastination. And before you know it, you are in second year, final year, and you don't have the time. I don't know where you are in your education right now. By the time this video ends, I want you to reevaluate yourselves and setting sound priorities for yourself. The most important thing is time management. If you're unable to manage your time well, you will not have the time to study. Or if you don't make the time to study, you are not going to get the grades that you want. If you are in your first year and telling yourself that you want to study harder than you did in secondary school, and you look at yourselves right now, your approach to study and all that is not matching with the goals you set for yourself, you really want to have a look at yourselves, re-evaluate yourself, and start working on the goals you set for yourself in your first year. Another thing we often tell ourselves in first year is research work or project work is for final year students. The truth is, it's one of the things that frustrate final year students. Research work or project takes most of their time. If you are in first year, second year, wherever you are at the moment, you really want to start participating in project work. Start approaching final year students who are doing their project work or research work, or lecturers, tutors who are teaching these things. You really want to grasp the foundation before it comes to your turn. You have to start approaching people who can help you understand. And you can start reading on these things online before it comes to your turn. The unfortunate thing that can happen to you is to have a research supervisor who don't have time for you. That can frustrate you, take you off guard, where you neglect other subjects, and before you know it, you spend so much time on research work to the detriment of other subjects. You don't need to understand everything, you just need to understand some basics, so that by the time you reach final year, some of those things do not become something new to you. Another thing, when you are in first year, you are probably telling yourself is to make good use of the school library. I can tell you that vast majority of students don't patronize the school library. Yeah, you may say in this age and time we have mobile phones, we have smartphones that can help us to read, so there's no need for school library and all that. I get it, but the question is, how often do you use your mobile phone or your smartphones to do some kind of serious research or reading on your own? The truth is, by the time you want to search something on Google, there is some advert, something popping up, leading you to different sites, going on social media that are not the primary reason why you open the phone at that time. Easy to get distracted. You know, library have that atmosphere that connote learn, study, silence. In your school library, you'll be able to have access to project work that people before you have done. Understand how these people are able to make it, and you begin to learn lessons from. Librarians can guide you as to your research work, which books you need to read, which journal you need to access. The next thing we often tell ourselves is to approach others when we don't understand some things. But hardly do we do that. Pride often takes the best part of us, and we feel like they're too big to approach others. To go far in your education, you're gonna need some people along the way to help you with the subjects you are finding it difficult to understand. So work on your ego, work on your shyness, your confidence level. You need to have accountability partner, someone who can help you to take responsibility for yourself, and it will mean that you must be ready to be accountable to that person. You also need to do self-assessment on regular basis to get yourself on the right track. Because if you are not assessing yourself, how will you know that you are actually fulfilling your goals or you are trailing off track? Seek help when the need arises. Don't be terrified of approaching people for help. And with all this, I believe by the time you reach your final year, you'll be confident coming out of that college, that university with flying colors. If you enjoy this, like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video. Peace out.